He could have gone, well, I didn't make it, I give up, but he kept persisting and he got where he wanted to go. Hello and welcome to Uncovered, the podcast with your host, Jason Irving. Join me in a journey to understand what's truly happening in your world and the world around you. This is not about how you're living life on the surface. It's about what's truly driving you from under the covers. I'm going to take you on a journey to deeply uncover the reason why you are here, the ultimate purpose in your problems and the way that they have shaped your life up until now. See, I believe you have a purpose and your problems are the highway towards ultimate realization of that journey towards freedom and the reconnection of your true self. I've been told I have a different spin on most things, and I'll be giving you my understanding of life, love, and what we're all here for, purpose. To get the best out of this podcast, drop what you already know so you can discover what's beyond you. So join me, let's play this game of life and bring on liberation, transformation, and change. Let's do this.
Hi Jason, how are you today?
Yeah, pretty good, Ophelia. How are you?
I'm good too, thanks.
Well, welcome to Uncover, guys. We are going to be focusing on regret, which is about looking at the past to create the brightest future imaginable.
And how do we usually look at regret?
Regret is one of the biggest disaster zones in the world. The number of times I see people in the academy, this is usually an older version of you wouldn't be sitting too much in regret because of your age. I start hitting it. I'm 50, almost 50. I'll call myself 50 even though I'm not. The older we get, we look back on our life and we think, what did we do? What did we miss out on? What could we have achieved? How come I'm with this partner? All of these things are sitting in our head. Why didn't we write that book that we really want to write? I'm so proud of you. You're going to write one over the next 18 months or so. Yeah. And you always wanted to.
Yeah.
99% of people have a book in their head that they're not going to write because it's in their head and they wish they could have done something. So this is a normal thing and it is true. This is what everybody does. The past drags us down, and I'll tell you what happens when we run the regret the original base way. What we do is we feel really bad, and we write the same book in our future based on the regrets from the past because we feel shame, disappointed, disarray, despondent, and inept. And what the head does is says, well, I'm this age now, it's too late for me. So that's the short change you do for yourself. It's too late for me.
So, and then you don't do anything as well.
Yeah, you don't do anything. So, and that happens. The young people, I'm calling out to you young people. If I had my time back, this is regret time. Conversation right now. If I had my time back with many of the things that I said I'll do tomorrow, or if I had persisted with certain things, man, my life would be a very, very different place. And that's the damage that regret can do to you when you think about it psychologically, right? Not psychically. But when we look at our past and we go and look at it this way and say, okay, here are all the things that we didn't manage to do. What do we want to do about them now? How do we want to create our new book with the wealth of experience that those experiences that we didn't get to do or we wanted to do, what do we want to do now? And we can write that list to create the bucket list. Now, one of my favorite movies is Morgan Freeman. I can't remember the other guy's name, but I love Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
Do you know who? You remember
No,
who he
I
is?
don't know his name.
Sorry, other guy. But yeah, Morgan Freeman's one of my favorite actors. And the movie The Bucket List.
It's a good movie.
So it's all about regret. They wanted to make sure they did all the things before they died. One was sick, right?
Yeah, I think both were sick.
Yeah.
Maybe. Hey. I can't remember. It's been a while since I watched it, but it
good
was really
memories.
Good.
Love the movie, don't remember what it's about. How about that? So that is the story. And then what we do with a movie like that with Morgan Freeman and blah, 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 we go, it gives us hope. It gives us a sense that these old buggers, they got there. And Morgan Freeman is actually a really good example of this. He didn't make it in Hollywood until he was in his 50s or early 60s.
I think until his 60s even, yeah.
Right?
So quite late.
So we're talking about one, in my opinion, and I know probably most of you guys, unless you're really young, would think, oh my God, Morgan Freeman, he's that person everyone wants to be. Like just one of those, he's the guy I want to be. I love him, right? As a person, he's doing this series called Conversations with God at the moment, and he's going to religions and discussing and communicating. And you see, he goes and talks to all the different religions. Everyone loves the guy. Everyone loves him. So again, he's sitting in that place. He could have gone, well, I didn't make it. I give up. But he kept persisting, and he got where he wanted to go in life.
And I think if you persist, like, it eventually happens. Like, think about, for example, Harry Potter, one of the, the biggest books ever after the Bible, I think. And she got turned down by so many. And then until somebody finally said, like, oh, yeah, we'll publish your book. And then it took off, and all the other ones would have been like, oh, shit, we should have published that. But, she could have easily just said, like, oh, maybe my idea isn't that good after all, and I give up. But, the persistence then, paid off.
And there's another example of this, a lady, Louise Hay, for people who've done spirituality or development for a long time. This is in the early 2000s. In her heyday, she created a book called You Can Heal Your Life or something. It was a metaphysical book, and no one wanted to publish it, so she self-published, and it's the biggest seller in self-help that exists today. But she could have not done it. No one believed in her, and she decided to self-publish, and then she created Hay House, the publishing company. She sold it now. She got people who didn't get a start and helped those people write books and share their magic because she wasn't given a start by the publishing companies, which is really, really awesome. So you get people like that who didn't want to live a life of regret. They had a piece of magic. They had no money. They didn't have anything to go that was behind them, and they wanted more. And so they're the inspirational stories that give us hope. And now this is what the head does, Philia. But that's Louise Hay.
That's not me.
That's not me. I couldn't do that. Right? So that's how our head loops. It's too late, or they can do that, I can't. So we give up. And then, look, what happens quite often, if something goes wrong, we give up. And then we question ourselves, and we just go back to what we were doing. Because, look, one of the reasons why I created my academy in the first place was I was doing healing work with people, and the people who were coming to see me, they wanted more. So they went and did a course, a shitty one. They went out into the world to try and do it in the world, and a lot of them failed. And then I helped some other people did it, and they got there, and they're really grateful to me that I was the beginning to give them the impetus to get there. And I realised what I was doing was a misservice, because I was like a pop gun as a healer, and people were getting all these amazing experiences. The thing is, they weren't getting the life experiences that they wanted. They were using me as like a candy machine, right? So I basically had to change things up so I wouldn't regret the way I was helping people too. Because I felt like I was failing people. And when I was seeing people who were coaches and all of these people who were really broken, and watching how they were doing mindset and all of this sort of stuff, I was like, this is just not deep. There's nothing under and all these people were coming to see me so I could sort what was under the road out. And they were just working on this light mindset and all of this stuff. Don't get me wrong, mindset's good if you can sit on the top of the road and you can actually drive your car on the top of the road. But for most people in the world, they actually have to go and work on their constructs of what's going on the inside so they can move. So I didn't want to regret letting people down. And I realized one day I was doing this group of people, and this guy said to me, oh, I love this. The diamonds was what I called it. It was a hidden group because I was too scared to expose everything. And I realized that day I have to actually start sharing stuff, because I was letting him down, because he was addicted to coming on Wednesday night, and that was his only lifeline. So that's what I want to hand to you guys, is that I look at all my past experiences, gather the magic. So what we do, as you know, Ophelia, is purpose in your problems. So when you look back and you go into the regret and you say, I could have, you pick all those things up and say, well, what do I want to do about those things now? Because they're your golden shining lights.
Mm-hmm.
And then as you start picking those apart one by one, you'll end up understanding that each step that you take to liberate, conquer, and change your past and create a bright future, you will end up having other people that you can help because you've actually triumphed over the stuckness that they're in. So then there's the purpose in the problems. Mm-hmm. So then our problems become solutions for other people. We have wisdom property. I don't call it IP because that's intellectual. Wisdom is so much better property, in my opinion, because it's heart-based, soul-based, connected-based, and then it's intellectually based. It has it all, right? And then we get to actually deliver our true message to this world. Mm-hmm. So I really think that we need to learn how beautiful regret can be for our future.
Because you get another, you still have the opportunity to change things. And I guess, you can sit in that and just say like, oh, I should have done this, and I've done this before as well. But then again, I think like, what's the, why am I wasting my time on this? Because I can't change what I did in the past. So I can only change what I do now and in the future. So
yeah, and that's what regret can give us. It can give us a lifeline. Mm-hmm. But people don't use it like a lifeline. A lot of people, guys, use regret as an excuse. Mm-hmm. So I've got all these regrets, and I think about people who say this all the time, and they say, oh yeah, I've got all these regrets, and then what? It's too late for me, or I don't have enough money, or I can't do this, and it's too hard, right? And it was really interesting. The lady I was speaking about this week about joining the academy was really interesting because she really wanted to do it, but she was scared of doing it. She didn't want to take that leap of faith. And I just put some things in her ear to just say, well, you need to focus on making sure you do some different things here, and get yourself in a really good position to change yourself. And I know that this is like that dot line in the sand of her age, mm-hmm. She's in her 30s, right, where she took a no to stay safe. Mm-hmm. And that marker could be, if she doesn't make any moves, that marker, that conversation that we had just this week in 2021 could be the time where she, in 20 years' time, said, that guy gave me an opportunity and I didn't take it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because you think about your life, guys, opportunities come our way, don't they?
Yeah, it's up to you to take them or leave them.
Yeah, we have a choice. And if our fear, and this is, we just did a podcast on safety just before, so that's a handshake. Mm-hmm. Imagine this. We go regret to safety, and then we don't move. And we all have opportunities at any given time to make a leap of faith and change our course of destiny through regret.
Mm-hmm. That's really, really cool. Okay. Do you have any advice for people that feel like a lot of regret about the past?
Yeah, look, write your list of the things that you're regretful for. Get them out of your head. Mm-hmm. Get them down on paper so that you can have a look at them. And then you put them on the left-hand side of a column. Make them short. Don't make a big essay of it. Just make it nice and concise and short. This happened, this happened, this happened, this happened. And on the right-hand side, say, and a list of what are you going to do about it. Mm-hmm. And then you go, okay, which one is the easiest for me to do first? Not the hardest. Don't pick the hardest one because that is going to make it hard for the rest. So pick something that's actually quite easy for you to do. So let's say I've been really bad with my health or whatever. I'm going to start drinking more water. Something very, very simple, mm-hmm. which is going to, by the way, about 80% of the world's population roughly is dehydrated. So if you just drank 2 litres of water every single day, you'll feel better. This is just a little hot tip for you. Right? So that's what we can do. We can just do something that's going to be simple, that's going to start making some changes around our decision-making processes. And then just tick off Morgan Freeman's bucket list. Okay.
Watch the movie.
Watch the
figure out
movie.
what the other actor is called.
Yeah, find out and let us know who the other actor is, by the way.
and what the bucket list is.
Yeah, and get your bucket list. So then you create a new book for your future. And then write a vision plan. Well, what do you want your future to be in 5 years or 1 year or 10 years, or if 20 years is too scary, you just try and find something that's going to give you a vision for your future. And you need to figure out your why. Why are you here? Why are you doing this? What is the point? So you gain some momentum around a bright, shiny future. So there's a cool movie around looking at that North Star. You look to that North Star for a compass for direction in the nighttime when we didn't have any way to know where to go. So we'd look at the North Star and then we'd know exactly where to go. So you got to find your North Star, guys.
Yeah.
It's really important. Everyone's got to find their North Star and go towards the North Star rather than sitting and ruminating and saying it's too late.
Awesome. Okay, thank you so much for that chat today.
Absolute pleasure. Now, guys, if you want to see us, our website is www.wellnessbreakthroughacademypodcast.com. And if you are experiencing regret and you really got some really good info around this, get your bucket list done. If you know someone who's sitting in that bucket of regretful-based thought and decision-making processes, could you please like and share this, comment for them to have a listen to this, because I think regret is one of the most shiny objects imaginable when you can use it well. So please like and share. This is the only way that this information is going to get to people is by you. So thank you so much for listening.
Thank
and
you.
Thanks, Velia.